And you were asking about stone, like, you know, these, okay, that's a little bit of gravel, but everything else is just not natural. Like, we got stones. You want stones? You want to build this stone house? Come out here, and it won't even depreciate the land anything.
So this is the Gamay vineyard you're talking about, or
it's the biggest block I have on my whole farm is of Gamay. It's about 4 acres. It wraps around this the winery. Why did I grow it here or plant it here? Gamay, like, this is a fairly rich soil actually, and Gamay does well in that. But a lot of rock, which is good. It's a clay loam, but a lot of rock. Like, you know, this is a brick. That's not. But this is a rock, and that's a rock, and you know, look over there.
You can clearly see,
rocks.
like when you back up, all the rocks everywhere.
Oh yeah, and my poor boy, he's, you know, every year he's out picking big rocks because they do a little bit of damage on your equipment. Not that I really don't want them. It's just, you know, at some point you have to say enough's enough. So we collect, and we, you know, because we're organic, we don't weed spray. No weed spraying. We just grape hoe with a mechanical grape hoe. So there's always a little bit of grass growing, and we alternate rows. Every year there's one row in sod or like clovers, and the other row is worked, and then we switch next year.
Is there like a, you know, everybody talks about the basil cluster. Is there a way that you tie that's different?
No, we're pruning though a little differently now. We're following from this Italian method of pruning to it's supposed to try to keep your vines healthier into a nice old age.
So these are all your vines on this side over here?
Yeah, all the way around. I mean, that's our field too, the empty one, but around. So this 4 acres just wraps around the vineyard, the winery here. And again, they're not as huge and bushy as some vineyards you're going to see, because we don't use any synthetic fertilizers, and so we don't get that huge flush of growth. We get just a nice growth, a nice slow growth, steady growth throughout the season. Whereas the other guys get a huge flush of growth early in the spring, and now they're hedging already, cutting all that growth off because they're getting too bushy, which is always baffled me, why you put all this fertilizer on, you get this huge growth, and then you cut it off. And then what happens is all the secondaries start growing because the plant says, hey, wait a minute, you just cut me back. Now I've still got to ripen this crop, this huge crop. I got to put out more leaves. So then it grows again, and it gets, what ends up happening is the vine actually gets into a bush as opposed to a vine. And now you're even worse off, because now you got humidity and a very tight microclimate. And but this is all because people listen to the experts in from areas where the whole purpose is to grow huge crops, and that's
Right.
the way to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to grow huge crops for, you know, the Walmarts.
But you can taste in the bottle, you know, like, again, when I use the example of your rosé there, you know, when it comes from a vineyard that's totally organically farmed by the winemaker, you get so much more.
Oh, I think that rosé, that's kind of a real good example of the difference between us and the other rosés. Like, you can get other rosés here, which are, to me, disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to disc them, but after I drink mine or try them for a hot, what I'm wanting to do is have a nice refreshing drink on a hot day, a rosé. They disappoint me.
Yeah.
They just don't do that, and mine does.
Yeah, yours is it's exceptional for sure.